Hey, pretty interesting rounds. We had survived the internet and blast around or something. Nice. I've only played a couple times, but it was pretty fun. It's a good streaming game to like get engagement with the audience. But we're going to be doing some latex tonight. One of the viewers of our shows is really good at survive the internet. Oh, okay, cool. Even better, even better. Well, y'all came at a good time. I'm bringing back latex streams, at least for a limited time. So, and then today is kind of a green latex theme. And yeah, we're gonna make probably a green latex tank top or something tonight. And drinking a green drink. I'll switch the video here in just a minute. I need to do some more sound checking, but hold tight. Alright, and since you all may or may not know me, see if I have this set up right. I think I do. Where I can show off my... Really, it's my Twitch trailer. Hi, Jericandra. Hi there. Can I get some latex? Sure, here you go. Latex. I'm a latex girl in a cosplay world. It's not plastic, but it's still fantastic. You can watch my streams and see them in your dreams. While video gaming, I'm always exclaiming, I'm Jericandra, welcome to the Clandra. I'm a cute latex girl in this pandemic world, playing games on my own, it's no party. Scratch the itch, jump on Twitch, get on in that live stream, hang with you and you too, all in latex. You can chat, play some sounds in backseat, cause I don't mind. I play games, crafting streams, and sometimes I work out too. I'm Jericandra, welcome to the Clandra.
Becky, look at her butt.
It's not a cult. So yeah, that's my latex. That's my channel trailer. But welcome to the Clandra. We're gonna get going in just another minute here. I actually have to go put my hair up in a ponytail. I'll be right back. Okay, let's get this party started here. I gotta get the music going again. And welcome in, everyone. This is bound to be a chill, easygoing latex stream tonight. I say chill, and I'm actually kind of hot in here. But at some point, we're gonna open the window, start the fan. And that's why I preheat this room in the winter anyway. It's actually a lot easier to do latex in the summer because, you know, you're going to open the window anyway. So anyways, let me know how the sound is, if there's any issues, that kind of thing. And cheers. I am drinking some green wine tonight. So people were asking me, oh, Joyce Rainbow, I think, was asking me how I was going to do green wine. I was like, well, just, you know, it's a peach Moscato with a hint of Irish. So, you know, it works. Hey. Alright, and then let's make sure you get some latex. Latex! Latex for Extreme Anime Radio. Once again, thanks for the raid. And, for those of you that don't know, I have cosplayed Sarah Yoshida, which is the mascot of Extreme Anime radio. And hopefully I have some more plans to do more of that coming up. Although I'm actually having knee surgery sometime in the next month or two, and so any kind of ballet is probably gonna be out of the question for a little bit. But we'll work back up to it. All right, so I was just kind of digging through my latex. I was like, I don't know what I want to make, but I found this green latex. The lighting isn't great for it here. It like makes it look kind of dull, but it's like actually kind of a darker, nice green. And so I dug out a pattern. I have this box of patterns, and I dug out my first ever latex pattern, because the first thing I ever made was a latex tank top. So let's dig it out and see if it's any good. I may have to modify it. Yeah, I probably have to modify it. This is back when I used to tape patterns on them too. Alright, so that is the back. I bet I'm going to want to modify how far the armpit is, because a lot of my patterns I've noticed have an issue where the armpit rides up, and so I really need to cut that down a little bit. We'll see what we can do with that. It might also be comparing with some of my other patterns, like maybe one of my dress patterns. I think that I might have actually measured this out when I first made this. Okay, the other thing I want to do is find this first tank top. I have this tank top somewhere. I have this huge bin of just latex, either ripped latex or just like fashion latex that has like no home. Like it doesn't go in a costuming bin up here. I even have scrap latex that's just like older latex that I just don't, I'm not like using at this point. Like maybe I'll use someday if I need some scrap latex, but alright, so that's a latex dress, that's a latex dress. That's a latex dress. Here's some more scrap latex. This is a Tinkerbell latex dress that's purple. It was my test for Tinkerbell. Oh, and then I wore this on stream at my last latex stream. It is the color is not, the lighting's not good. That's like a fuchsia latex bodysuit. Alright, here is the latex tank top that I made. This is my first latex item. I even powdered it really well in here. Just don't want to get the powder too much all over the place, but it's held up over time, it looks like. It's just got powder on it, but purple tank top. I'm tempted to actually go try this on, just to see how it fits or doesn't fit, and then we might adjust the pattern. So let's see. So it shouldn't. That's the nice thing about tank tops and dresses is they're not that hard to get on compared to some things. Yeah, why not? Should be easy enough. So I'll throw up a be right back screen, and then I will go try this on, and then I'll have a better idea of what the pattern might need to get updated before we make something new. Alright, so I will be right back. Okay, and we're back. And as you can see, yes, you can't see the color very well, but yeah, it's a purple latex tank top, and it really pushes the boobs in. I'm not liking that. So this is my first thing I ever made in latex. Good news is it still somewhat fits.
Latex.
But it's also, before I learned about like princess seams and things like that. So I'm actually thinking maybe I won't use this pattern. Yeah. Because I just need more boob room, you know? So I think we might be able to adjust a pattern from one of my dresses. Go from there. But surprisingly, where the areas I thought would be bad under the arms is actually not that bad. It's just the boobs are really pressed in. I have a tough time like getting the tank top over the bra. Alright, so other patterns. Should be a latex dress in here. Stocking. Catsuits. Should be like a tank dress. Crop top. Latex tank dress. Alright, I think this is what I've been using for some dresses. So, this may end up being more of a pattern modification stream than anything. Because like I said, this first pattern that I ever made for latex, it's not going to cut it.
I did it again. I transformed myself.
Oh, thanks for following.
into
Nero
somebody
Shade.
else.
Welcome to the Clandra. And happy St. Patty's Day. Happy Hump Day. Let's start with modifying some patterns today. So what we have here, front, back, and a boob cup. And probably tell that we need the boob cup. Like this flat tank top is not going to cut it anymore.
Latex.
Have some latex of your own, Nero Shade. Okay, so we have this front piece. We have this boob cut piece. Now what's interesting is, like I said, I like that this kind of had a lower armpit area. So I maybe want to take that into account. So notice these straps are a lot longer. Fronts. So we're comparing fronts here. Yeah, a lot longer. I bet I might get more mileage if I just make these straps longer. So to do that, the easy way, because I'm lazy, is to actually just add on to what we got. Hey, Rancor!
Latex.
Maybe bedtime, but I need my latex fix. Exactly. Welcome in. Happy St. Patty's Day. Having some green wine tonight because we're classy like that. And wearing some latex. Actually, I just put it on to get the fit. This is my first latex tank top that I ever made. It still fits, kind of. It doesn't quite fit the girls very well, but that's what we're going to fix. So I'd like to at least start on a green tank top in honor of St. Patty's Day tonight. How are you? Hope you had a great day. Yeah, I'm doing great. It has been a pretty good day. Fairly productive. Getting some stuff done at work. So not bad otherwise. What about you? How was your day? Okay, so I think what I want to do is modify this to be longer. Do some folding here. How much longer would you say that's going to be? I mean, I should measure. That's not fun. Not too bad. Work, then played some disc golf because it was nice out. Now it's time for shower and bed. Nice. Disc golf. I haven't played that in a long time. Like 10 plus years. Frisbee golf. Glad the weather was good. It still was in the 30s here in Seattle. Although it wasn't rainy. So that was good at least. I'm just doing a quick measurement. So it's 8 inches currently. And then this is... Oh yeah, this is like almost 10 inches. So I bet we could add 1.5 inches to the sleeves of the front alone. That's not even counting the back. So to do that, I'm gonna use tape and add the paper on. So I have a ton of just this patterning paper. Well, I call it, it's not really pattern paper, it's like poster paper or whatever. And I make my patterns out of it. And so, because I don't want to like redraw this whole pattern, I'm actually going to tape this on. Where is my painter's tape? Oh, you know, I think it's in the kitchen. I'll be right back. I think I need to order some more painter's tape soon, actually. Alright, so I'm going to tape some on here. This is the lazy way to do this. Tape it on both sides. And we're going to measure adding that many inches. I said 1.5 inches, I think. So it should be right about there. And, but then this is here. Should be right there. When we cut off the excess. These really crappy scissors, I have to say. But they get the job done. Okay, so now we just added 1.5 inches onto that pattern strap. So the same thing on the other side. Although, technically we probably don't have to. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. Because I mentioned it before, like these dresses I'm noticing really cut into the armpits, and so this will help that. So, can we do that with this? Okay, and then side. Well, Rancor, thanks for coming by. If you're getting ready for shower and bed. Sounds like a good day. Getting all sporty and stuff out there. I had cheer practice last night, but I didn't, like, it's all on Zoom, and I didn't end up, like, doing a whole lot. Okay, cut this, and then this. Alright, extended sleeves, or extended shoulder straps, I should say. Okay, so that will help on the front. Let's double check the back. We'll compare backs. Back may be fine. Let's see. I think this is a problem I've had for a while. I mean, it looks pretty. Yeah, it actually looks pretty close. It might be negligible. It's about 8.5. And 9. So yeah, I'd say we're probably fine to leave the back as is. Okay, so given that, we're gonna set the old tank top pattern aside. And we're gonna make a tank top out of this dress pattern. So it's just like taking a piece of the dress. Actually, let's make sure we have enough latex to do this first. Hey, Psycho Muffin! Going to bed, wanted to pop in and say hi. Well, thanks. Thanks for coming by. Have some latex.
Latex. Latex.
Cheers. Happy St. Patty's Day. I got my green wine. I'm going to have to go for a refill in a little bit here. And we're working in some green latex tonight. Making a latex tank. We're gonna try to make a latex tank. I want to do something easy after like not having motivation to make anything for the last couple months. So I was like, oh, it's not too much effort to like make a tank top or even a dress. So this is some leftover latex from a dress that I made actually for the Powerpuff Girls that we never got to wear yet. I was like, you know, St. Patty's Day? Green latex. Alright, Bethany, have an amazing stream. Oh, okay, thanks, Psycho. Muffin. D-Mag, rejoining the Clandra.
Oh my
Welcome
god.
in, D-Mag.
Becky, look at her butt.
Latex.
Thank you, D-Mag, for that 5 months in a row. Thanks so much. You know what that means, though. You know what? Y'all know what that means. We gotta have someone come say hi.
Latex.
Right? All right. How are you? Well, I'll get to that. Someone wants to say hi to you, D-Mac, personally. You may not know her, but here we go.
Romy, where are you going? We have more shopping to do.
I know. I just have to do this one thing, and then we can get back to that.
Okay, well hurry up. These shoes are on sale over here.
Ooh, shoes. Okay. Oh, there you are. I was looking for you all. Thank you for joining the Jerry Candra Clandra. Jerry Candra had talked to me about introducing myself and welcoming you all in to the Clandra. It's not a cult, from what I hear. But yeah, so I'm Romy from Romy and Michelle, inventor of Post-it notes. As y'all know, like, it's totally what we did and, you know, what we're known for. So yeah, anyways, enjoy your time in the Clandra, wearing your latex. You look so fabulous. Oh my God, I can't believe it. So yeah, let's leave it at that. And I've got to get back to shopping. So see you later. All right. Well, thank you, Romy, for taking some time out from your shopping trip there to say hello and welcome T-Mac back into the Clandra. 5 months in a row. It's a long time. 5 months is a long time. So thanks for that. I realize that some people are not going to know who Romy and Michelle are, but I was like, why not? Add it to my list of characters. So yeah, how's it going, T-Mac? Happy St. Patty's Day. Have you been getting crunk on St. Patty's Day? T-Mac, I don't, but why not? Yeah. I mean, think of her as a Valley girl and you probably got that anyway. Happy St. Patty's Day. 2.5 hours to go. 2.5 hours to go? Till what? Till it's over? $9:30? You're more than 3 hours ahead of me, aren't you? I didn't get drunk. I went to get alcohol and the store was closed on St. Patrick's Day. How in the world does that work? That seems like a crime, especially in Ireland. That's it. So we can flip this and use the most amount of latex we can. The other thing I should probably check is like how long am I making this? We can use the neckline measure. Also, I meant it's 2:30 a.m. here, so St. Patty's Day was 2.5 hours ago. Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, wait a minute. You were saying 2.5 hours ago. Okay, gotcha. Well, hope it was a good one, even if you didn't get drunk. Alright, so this is a dress pattern, and I'm just gonna make it a tank top. So I want it to end about probably no more than here. Just gonna mark it. Tank ending. That'll be harder to do on the back, but the boob coverage will be easy enough. But, well, hope you had a good time, D-Mac. It really was pretty non-eventful for me. Except, like, I mean, it was more bad news than good news today, so. But it was kind of what I expected. I had a doctor appointment today, so. Alright, so it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be right around here. I'm just gonna give it a little more, just in case. Hope everything's okay. Yeah, I mean, you know, I've been having this knee issue for for over a year now. And one doctor said surgery, and then my PT lady was like, well, get the second opinion. And he confirmed it today that, yeah, I do need surgery. So. But he said the surgery is most likely going to work for my case. So here's hoping. I'm more upset that for 6 weeks I have to not work out. That's like the worst. And 2 of those I'm going to have like a straight leg cast. So I'll be walking around like without being able to bend my leg. So not excited about that. Okay. But I think we can start cutting. Oh, I didn't restart the music. Let me know if the music's too loud or my voice isn't loud enough. So I use my paperweights here. Cannot poke holes in latex to pin it down. Oh, and I actually had a green shirt on earlier, DMAC, but I was like, oh, I have this tank top pattern. It's the first tank top I ever made, and then I actually dug out the first tank top, latex tank top I ever made. I was like, let's see if it still fits. Well, it fits, but boobs are kind of spilling all over, so that's why I ended up modifying this pattern instead. Way it will be a little more form-fitting, not so boob compressing. Here's the first front piece. I didn't notice that has stain right there. Or is that? I think that's just black marker. Just be able to wipe it off. First piece. That's more like scraps at this point. So next we have one side of boob cup. One side of boob cup. So yeah, I recently decided, you know, I don't know. I keep seeing pictures on Instagram. That's the thing. That's really where it all starts, isn't it? Like pictures on Instagram. And I'm just like, I want to make more latex stuff. But I'm just like, it's so much work. And I was like, you know, I'll have to make a costume. Because I can't really wear that right now. Anywhere. I mean, that's worth it. And so I was like, you know, I'll make some dresses. I'll make some tank tops, dresses. And then, you know, I can wear those for other functions that aren't necessarily Comic-Con. But still have this, like, latex thing going on. So that's what we're doing. We're starting it tonight. And really, I'm just like, I have so much latex. I could make a lot of dresses, and I would wear them. Maybe not on stream. But that's also like, alright, if I make a tank top, I can wear that on stream, right? Versus like a whole dress just feels like it's a lot of, I don't know, a lot of work, a lot of... I guess it's more work to put on is really the main thing. Alright, to get that corner. Use my much smaller roller. There we go. Oh, and then I gotta cut this part too. Alright, so since I didn't cut the pattern, I'm going to cut the latex at the end. There we go. So that's one of these. We need two of these for the whole front. Yeah. There. So now we just gotta remember a couple things we've got to remember here. We did that one face up. Now we gotta do this one face down. If we don't remember that, we'll be in trouble. And the two the same side. And I guess it doesn't matter like a whole lot. Some latex is more shinier on one side than the other, but a lot of the latex I work with ends up not being, it's shiny on both sides, so it's really actually difficult to tell which side to use. Okay. Boob cup number 2. Coming right up. Okay, I was trying to hook up my Bluetooth my headphones via Bluetooth earlier, and it was failing. Like, it connects just fine to my Mac and my phone. Oh crap, the call box. Where's my phone? Speaking of phones. Hello? 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 Speaking of phones. Oh, I'm gonna have the stream running. Hello? Stop that. Alright. Text my boyfriend. Get package. Call box. Just tried. Let's see. We'll see. I wonder if he actually went to sleep. I'm gonna check real quick. Okay. It's just protein being delivered, but it's the other thing. The other thing we should talk about Instagram. Is that man, they show some of these girls that are like working out heavily, and I'm just like, damn girl, I want to have a hard body like that. And then I'm remembering back to the days when I actually tracked all of my macros and did all my meal prep. So yeah, I need to get back to that. That is the plan anyway, although this surgery is going to throw a wrench in that, let me tell you. No activity whatsoever for 2 weeks. And no lower body for 6. Although I bet that'll be more based on PT. So if my PT lady says I can do lower body, then I will be able to. Okay, let's cut this bit. Okay. Alright, then we'll have one more piece to cut out. And we can start the actual gluing. I need to come up with something interesting to do while waiting for glue to dry. Maybe we can search through YouTube or something. Okay, here's the fun part. So this is the back of the dress. Gotta figure out. Where the end will be. So probably about there. Should probably test that. Kind of like right there. So I really want the end to be. No, that dress isn't that high usually. It's probably more like. Okay, so I get a little extra. That'll work for me. It's better to have too much to work with than not enough, because you can cut some off. And we have plenty of fabric here to do this last piece, so that's helpful. Set it up a little farther. Okay, let's go with that. Okay, on the other side. Certain angles that are easier than others for me for the cutting. And we have this huge like back neckline. Right. And right about there. There you have it. should be done with the patterns. And I'm gonna leave the back for last. I'm gonna start on the front. I need to smooth out some of these edges here. Oh, not that edge didn't cut so well. There we go. Okay. So we got 2 boob cups to go on front. I'm gonna measure. See, it's really hard to tell what's the front, what's the back. Shiny wise. But I'm gonna guesstimate as much as I can here. It still doesn't look right. Alright, well, whatever. Let's see how this fits. So you kind of stretch that on. Stretch that over. And then we're going to end up with some extra there. That's fine. So yeah, that might be how I play that. Okay, well I think we can glue 2 seams at once, so let's prepare. This is where it might get a little noisy. Because I gotta turn the fan on. Open the window. Okay. This thing hasn't seen a shiny lubricant in a while, so it's already drying up. So yeah, if you ever make something latex, pre-lubricate it, because it'll suck it right up and it'll dry up, and you'll want to re-lubricate it. So otherwise it'll lose that shiny because it's just like the initial latex. Needs to soak that in the first bit in. Alright, so we got that. So we're using the thinner. Clean off any powder, residue. Because you want the glue to be like a good seal. Nothing in the way like dust or powder. This needs a refill.
Fuen, 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 fuen. Fuen, 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 fuen.
Sounds
Fuen,
like
fuen, fuen,
France in the
fuen.
house.
Fuen, fuen, fuen. Latex.
Hey, France.
Latex.
Have some latex. Happy St. Patty's Day. Cheers. I have some green wine. I need to go refill in a minute here. How's it going? We are in the spirit of St. Patrick's Day, we're making a green latex tank top tonight. Or at least starting on it. I'm around, figured some things out for the rest of the week, but yay for your return. And yay for green wine. Yeah, I know, right? It's been a long time since I did any latex, so it's good. Oh, and so I made this pattern. This tank top I'm wearing was my first ever latex garment that I ever made. And so I was going to use the pattern to make a tank top, but being the first garment that I ever made out of latex, I was like, you know, I should probably try this on, see how it still fits, or doesn't. And unfortunately, it's kind of tight in the bust. But the good thing was it fits the armpits better than some of my other stuff. So we used that knowledge to modify my existing tank dress pattern that has bust cups, so it'll fit better in the bust, but it's been tight in the armpits. So we made the straps longer to accommodate that. And that's what we're making now. We're using my tank dress pattern to make a latex tank top. So I just cut it off instead of making like a full dress. I should start the timers too, so give it 5 minutes. And then we'll do the other seam. So it seems. Yeah, and then I'll go get a refill of my green wine. So I just see the latex wrinkles as you put the glue on it. If you over glue it, it's even worse. Don't over glue it. But you also don't want to under glue it. You know what I mean? I'm sure I got that corner spot. Okay, so that's the glue job. Give it a good 5 minutes to dry, get tacky. Turn from like liquid to like a tacky. And then it also kind of uncurls in that time. Although sometimes it does it. If you put too much glue on. Okay. So, given that, I'm gonna run and get some more wine. So I will be right back. Okay. And we're back. And I realize I need a good picture. Whenever you do latex in latex, you gotta get a good picture in. I just relubricated this thing because it was all dried up. Let's try this way. Okay, there we go. Doing latex and latex. Should trademark that, you know. Alright, timer's going off. This is looking pretty flat. This side still needs to unravel. D-Mac gonna go to bed now. Good night. Alright, D-Mac. Sleep tight. Thanks for coming by, as always. Thanks for being part of the clan drift, too. Okay. So let's do some gluing. Try not to... Actually, let's do this side first. Should I? Yeah. Try not to stretch it. Just kind of slightly glue, slightly press. And then you get to a circular spot. I'm going to do it two-handed. Got this lovely corner, and it's always difficult. Just have to stretch it over it without wrinkling it. Preferably without wrinkling it. Inside. Easy part when it just kind of lays down. Then you get to the curve of it. Stretched across that corner. Oh crap, I see a little like hanger on here. Anything like that hanging out causes a weakness. You can tear the latex. is the front? Let's seam roll. Seals the seams. Okay, that's the front, and as you can see, we have some pieces to cut off here. But like I said, it's better to have stuff too long than too short. So that's the basic idea. I don't want to go too lubey. So the lube is counterintuitive to the glue, so I gotta careful about it. Alright, back piece. So just glue the side of the back piece in. Looks like we got it pretty good. Height-wise. Alright, so once again, wipe off the powder. In this case, there's actually some lube. I gotta be careful with that, especially when I'm wearing latex. Let's wipe off that seam. Put this seam. Go back to gluing. Set that timer. Pull it away a little bit. Alright, cheers. Alright, I'm gonna put my patterns away now since we're done with them. So take just back and front. Oops. Oh man. Lost my jazz. There it is. Okay, back in front. And boob cup. Alright, I'm gonna put all my patterns in Ziploc bags. Keep them all in a bin. I've not had to make a new pattern lately, so it's usually the hardest part. But Ryan, my boyfriend's bugging me to make him a Superman suit. Probably won't do it out of latex though. Oh, maybe this Ziploc doesn't close anymore. Alright. Whatever. That's probably a metallic spandex is what I'll use. Okay, latex tank top. Alright, tank dress, tank top. Oh, now we wait for glue to dry. Alright, so here we are. And I got that last piece glued here. The back to the front, side seam. Now's the part that's kind of a pain in the ass. I really wish I could streamline this a little more. But the whole having to do the reinforcement, that's what's really, it's like it takes forever. Anyways, let's cut off this excess. Unfortunately, the bottom ended up being quite a bit longer. Or the back, I should say, not the bottom. I'm not going to deal with that yet because we got to do the reinforcements. But the easiest way to do the reinforcements is before, well, it's all 2D. Well, you know, before you ever turn this object into a 3D object. Alright, so I think I'm going to opt for the same color rather than trying to highlight. I mean, I could do yellow, but yeah, I could highlight it with yellow. I could highlight it with a different green. Oh yeah, I have Tinkerbell green. That's not going to look great. do my little green. Which means cutting lots of strips of latex. Trying to get them even, which is the hard part. Of course, I just eyeball it, but too lazy to actually. Is that freaking long enough for that? It's long enough for this. So it's going to be a side piece. Excess. I guess I could try to make it work for this and just add a piece on. Trusty. Trusty tape. That keeps that latex from wrinkling up on itself. Alright, let's just do it. Just gotta power through this part. This part's the part that's annoying. Actually, I can wipe down all of these. Ah. All work down this strip. And then we switch to, well, I guess we should just do this. Nope, we do want to use this brush. This is a whiter brush in this can. Reserve it for applique and reinforcement. Oh. Too much glue. Alright, I'll give that another 5 minutes with some music. Still a little wrinkly over there. Strip looks pretty good. Alright, we'll give it another minute here. Waiting for that glue to dry a little bit more. Alright, well, let's give it a try. Still a little on the curly side over there. God, I hate when that happens. Stop it. Yeah, darn it. Alright, we got a couple spots we gotta re-glue here. That's the thing about peeling it off the tape. If the glue comes off with the tape, it's not good. Recoat that part. Alright, let's watch more laser cats. Okay. I think we got it. So we just want to put some reinforcement latex on this area. It's not going to be enough to cover the whole area, but we will add on to it afterwards. Sharp curves in the way. But there you go. So yeah, we didn't make it all the way around, but and then seam roll it. Gonna have some excess to cut off there. I'll do that later. Alright, cut some strips. So this part we just need a small strip. Make use of all of these with some little tape. And let's see, so we'll do this part, and then the other two. Probably not going to fit in that area. Something will fit over here, so let's do that. Yeah, that's classic right there, Will Ferrell. The more cowbell. Alright, well, welcome in, Tuco. Doing my first latex stream, first crafting stream since the new year. And I thought I would make a green tank top. So first thing I did was put on this purple tank top. But this was my first latex garment that I ever made. And it doesn't fit that well. So I used a different pattern to make this one because I was not happy with how this fit. Let's give this... I forgot to give some overlapping over here. Overlap. Latex! So you like latex then? Yeah, I do. Something sexy and shiny about it. I wish, people are always like, does it feel good? Like some people get off on like the smell and like the feel of it and stuff, and I'm just like, yeah. I just think it looks cool. I don't know. Okay. Yeah, so we got this tank top together, and I'm just reinforcing it. So the thing about latex is you can't hem it, so you end up just adding these strips to all the hems to reinforce it. Do you get sweaty? Yes. Yeah, latex doesn't breathe, unfortunately. And so yeah, you develop this layer of sweat all over. And, to put it on, you have to, put lubricant on your body. And you put lubricant on the outside too to kind of shine it up. But yeah, so then after a while the lubricant dries up and your sweat's there. And it's just kind of this sweaty mess underneath, so. With movement, of course, but what about just sitting there? Yeah, I think so. I think just because it's covering all of your pores, that you'll still sweat. Since it doesn't breathe. Just doing that part.
Latex.
Hope you don't mind that I looked you up in more detail, so you cosplay a lot of latex stuff. No, I mean, all my stuff's out there, public. I like to share my life, I guess. I share a good portion of my life with people online, just because I like to, I'm extroverted. One would say I'm also almost an exhibitionist, but I don't mean that in a crass way, I guess. I think I've always had that feeling of just like, I like doing things and then I like sharing it with other people, so. Is it the latex itself or was it the affordability? I mean, latex is very expensive, actually. It's, the sheeting itself costs like anywhere upwards of like $20 a yard up to like $60 or $70 a yard. So it's pretty expensive. And then if you buy the garments themselves pre-made, they're hundreds of dollars usually. So I don't know. So it's expensive stuff, and not many people make it. You could say there's a lot more people sewing than gluing latex, and so I think that's one of the reasons I like it. It's like a unique thing. It has a unique look that even like shiny vinyl doesn't have. And honestly, for a while there, I tried shiny vinyl and I hated sewing it. Oh my god. Sewing vinyl. Like, your sewing machine needle skips and does all this stuff. It's a pain in the butt. So yeah, I don't know. I've been like, I like that it's different from what, the crowd is doing. And as a cosplayer, I feel like it sets me apart a little bit. I've done countless Supergirl costumes, and so is every other girl out there, but because mine are latex, and they have a certain look to it that doesn't look like your average Supergirl costume. So just as an example. So I kind of joke about it, but it's kind of true. It's like, well, you've made a Batgirl, but have you made a latex Batgirl?
Latex.
Because it is. It looks different. So I have to say, from what I've seen so far, your Batgirl latex cosplay is awesome. Oh, well, thanks. One of my favorites, and actually that was my first. No, it's not. That was my first cat suit that I made. Batgirl one. I've made countless cat suits since, and they're kind of a pain in the butt. And I'm in the middle of making a new Supergirl cat suit, and it's one of the reasons why I'm not working on cosplay right now, because it's just so overwhelming. So we're just making a tank top today, just kind of dabbling. But thanks, Batgirl. I do need to make a new Batgirl. The latest suit I made, the pattern had issues, and so I have this like saggy crotch thing going on, which drives me insane. So I fixed the pattern since, but I gotta remake the suit. Yeah. Hate when that happens. I did wear it to San Diego though in 2019. Put off the pieces. But yeah, I have lots of costume plans. It's just until we can actually do something about it, I'm just not going to be motivated. Okay, so I still have a neckline and an arm line to do reinforcement-wise. I don't think we're going to finish this tonight. Like, we could have finished this if I had just not reinforced it, but unfortunately my when you make latex and you don't reinforce it, like, you potentially rip it every time you put it on, and so I'm pretty adamant about adding reinforcement. Unless I know it's just a temporary thing, I'm not going to plan to wear it a lot. So hope you don't mind the constant questions, by the way. You're the first cosplayer I've interacted with. No, I mean, that's why I'm here. Happy to answer questions. Goes back to, you know, I could be doing this alone, right? Doing my own thing. Same with video games, but I'm here to, like, hang out with people and get some social interaction in this crazy pandemic that we're going through. So. Appreciate the community, the attention to detail, the dedication, discipline to see it through, especially with all the work involved. Yeah, cosplay is pretty crazy. Like, I didn't even really understand cosplay until I got into it, which was in 2013. So before that, I would have just been like, oh yeah, a bunch of people in costumes, but not really understanding why or any of that. Alright, so now I'm cutting some more strips for the reinforcements. Got a couple long ones here, that's good. The other thing with latex is there's a lot of periods where I'm just waiting for the glue to get tacky, and so there's lots of time to talk. And that's and if nobody's talking, I'm just like, maybe I'll throw up a SNL thing or something, just to kill time. That way, do it this way. Has to be killing you with no Comic-Con happening. Yes. Yeah, I've broken down a couple times. You know, I try to be strong. I try to be happy. I'm a very positive person by default. They say, you know, people are glass half full, glass half empty. There's something in my head that I'm just like, by default, I want to be on the positive side, and so that tends to work for me. But, you know, you can't always be positive. You have to still experience other emotions. And I've had a couple times during this, during the last few months where I'm just like, just want to go show my costumes to everybody and hang out with all my friends and do all that stuff that I used to do. And I'm just like, what is my life now? So. Awesome. Yeah, I joke about actually, let's measure this while I'm talking. I joke about the happiness thing, that I have a dopamine problem. Like, there's just too much dopamine in my brain or something, because I'm always usually happy, or like, you know, turning to happiness. You're learning all my sound triggers too without realizing. Yeah, my Psylocke cosplay. That was the sound of her sword. I'm glad you like it. I have a couple Psylocke cosplays. Yeah, the most recent one was the black version. I have a purple one too, but it ripped. So I've got to remake it. Let's see if this is going to fit all the way. see. Oh yeah, okay, we can do both of these with these two strips. That is a good thing to have. Yeah. It's kind of, I don't know. I just wonder sometimes, like, what's wrong with me? Why am I always happy? Alright. Let's do a little tape trick here. So this is a trick I learned from a friend.
Tender.
Tender, I'm stalking you. Here I am stalking you while I chat. Jeez, I feel like a weirdo. Hey, no worries. Like I said, my stuff's out there for a reason. And yeah, recently I'm not even posting on my social media as much. So going forward, I have plans to more use my website for stuff. But mostly because, you know, you have a gazillion followers on Facebook, and you post stuff on there, and only 500 people see it, and you're just like, how in the world? Like, so like Facebook takes away my ability to like communicate with my fans and my viewers. So that's why I started my new website this year. So you can sign up for the email list on the website and get all my updates that way instead of having to worry about Facebook's algorithm. Seems like something weirdos would say. I'm not helping myself here. Agreed, website's a good option, but I'm also saying that because I don't do Facebook. Oh, okay, yeah. And then there's people that just don't like Facebook. I've gotten less and less into Facebook myself over the years. Like I said, I'm mostly annoyed by the algorithm. It's just like, even as a viewer, I'm just like, show me the people, show me my friends, show me the things in order. Don't show me ads and the things you want to show me. It's annoying. Let's take a thinner. Alright, so we already wiped down the seams of the garment. I gotta make sure I'm wiping down the strips too. This is just to make sure there's no powder, no dust on them, so that the glue can form a good seal. Okay. So we're gluing. You'll notice as I glue, the material kind of wrinkles up on itself. It's kind of the annoying part. And so that's that you have to wait about 5 minutes, and then it kind of flattens out as it gets tacky. Back neckline? Yeah, the back. Or, no, it's the front neckline. Glue right here. Okay, and then I will glue the reinforcements. Apparently this glue bottle's getting low, I gotta fill it up. You probably hear a fan in the distance. That is because this stuff isn't great to breathe in, so I have my window open and fan blowing out the window. Been to one Comic-Con, Rose City. Oh, okay. What was proper etiquette to getting a picture? Sure, that's a great question, really. Wish more people would ask that. Rather than like fumble around with it or not do it at all, which, you know, as cosplayers, we want to get pictures with people. Happy to. So yeah, proper etiquette. So say we're, you know, I'm walking around Comic-Con, you're walking around Comic-Con, you see me in a costume, and you're like, I want to get a picture with her. Then, you know, so here's the thing. Here's the etiquette, right? If we're walking around, that's when it's okay. If cosplayers are sitting down eating, it's like we've been on our feet all day. We're in the middle of like stuffing our faces, and we don't want to get a photo right then. We may even have like parts of our costume taken off to eat. So that's the time to not ask, right? But yeah, walking around, just walk up and you know, you can start off by saying, you know, I love your cosplay, or I love the character, great job, you know, can I get a picture with you? And then that's all there is to it. The eating part you don't appreciate? Yeah. So yeah, that's really all there is to it. And then, you know, there's other rules about like, if you want to put, you know, depending on how you're doing the picture, usually like maybe someone will take it for you, or you'll just get a selfie or whatever you're doing. Then, you know, if you, it's usually customary to be like, can I put my arm around you or something like that, if you're going to make that kind of move, just to, you know, to take the picture or whatever. But that it's happened, the fact that you said it means it's happened to you, yes. Oh, I need to set my timer here. Alright, 5 minutes. Yes, over and over and over again. People are just like crazy about that. They're just like, oh my god, I love your costume, can I get your picture? And it's just like, you know, your cape's off, you know, you know, pieces of your costume are sitting there and you're eating, and it's just like, sorry. I've basically said sorry, no. I'm just not at a point to take pictures right now. So yeah, that's the perfect time to not ask, I guess. But yeah, otherwise I feel like most cosplayers are there to like show off their costume and get pictures with people. So that's totally why we're there. And, you know, show off our costumes. Just realized the shamrocks are behind the chat, so I'm moving them. That is rough. Yeah, the whole eating thing is annoying as fuck. Any other time?
I did it again.
Mom's travel team. Welcome in. Have some latex. Latex. That's what we're doing today. Wearing latex, making latex, talking about latex. But yeah, that's the thing. So you went to Rose City. That's great. I've been to Rose City. Rose City was probably my second Comic-Con ever. Whereas PAX was my first, which is kind of silly. That PAX would be my first, but it's just how it worked out. Smooth out all the edges here, so you see it's all kind of curly, so that'll kind of settle down and flatten out a little bit after we wait a little bit longer here. Yeah, Rose City's a good one. We went like several years in a row over the years. I think one year we didn't go because we went to Dragon Con in Atlanta, and it was the weekend before, and I'm not about overdoing it and going to back-to-back weekend Comic-Cons. Like, as much as I go to about 8 to 10 Comic-Cons a year usually. But imagining doing 2 weekends back-to-back, and travel cons to boot, I'm just like not into that. So I like to space it out. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I got such a kick out of seeing different interpretations of Batman's. Yeah, there's a lot. You got the, you got the different actors versions, right? And then you also got the, costume cosplay versus custom and all that kind of stuff too. So, I know Batman in Seattle is a close friend of mine, and he does like this perfect Michael Keaton Batman. That's all he does. Some cosplayers do that. It's all they just do one character and they just perfect it. And over the years, he's upgraded his suit over and over, and done all this stuff. And yeah, he just has he also has the bottom half of the chin and all that. It just pretty matches up pretty well with Michael Keaton. So yeah, he's fun to hang out with. There's a picture of me and my friend Abby and her. So I'm in Batgirl and she's in Mira, and we're inside his cape, and he's like got his cape wrapped around us in the cold in Seattle. It's a fun one. He keeps posting it every year, so it was like a throwback. But yeah, Tuco, welcome to my workshop, basically. This room where I do all of my latex stuff also happens to be like, I have costumes up here, all in bins, and then I have clothes lining the walls of this whole room. Not just costumes, but just clothes. And then this room has a walk-in closet as well, where I have shoes and more clothes. So yeah, this room itself is a closet with a closet. But it's also my latex workshop, so. Alright, so that was 5 minutes. Let's see how this is doing.
Hi, Kim!
I'm gonna give it another 3 minutes, I think. Thank you for the welcome. This is a big closet, yo. Exactly. Yeah, I've upgraded. When I originally lived with my ex-husband, when we were together, it was his house, and I kept expanding closet. Like I was taking over his closet, and then I was taking over the closet in the second room. And finally, he kept getting upset at it and stuff, and so I finally was like, look, I will buy a shed, have someone come build a shed on the property, and put all my costumes and prom dresses and all all of that stuff in, because I have a lot of like long gowns and stuff for going to the ballet and stuff. I'll put all that in the shed, and then we'll have room for my other clothes in the house. So I did that, and so that was one upgrade. And then when I moved out of his house into my condo, I got this whole second bedroom is basically what the shed became. So. Oh, and I forgot if I told you. So yeah, I'm wearing my first ever latex garment that I made like several years ago. Probably can't see it very well, but it's a purple tank top. It's very simple. It's just a front and a back. You just glue the two together. It is reinforced with the black strips around it. And so today when I was gonna make this tank top, I was like, oh, I'll use that pattern, right? And I was like, well, I better try this on, make sure that pattern still fits right. And yeah, I wasn't really happy. Like, it's actually, I'm kind of overflowing out of it, and so I decided to go with a pattern from some of my dresses that I've made more recently and make a tank top out of that instead. So that's what's been going on. Looks great, thanks. So your collection keeps expanding. Yes, it does. I'm pretty good about like getting rid of clothes that I don't wear anymore. But costumes are harder. I have sold like older costumes that I don't wear anymore. But the latex ones, I feel like I can't sometimes because I don't trust myself. I feel like latex rips easier. If someone has a problem with it, I'm selling them a faulty costume or something. So I've only sold a couple of my latex outfits, ones that I really trusted. And honestly, they didn't fit that well, so anything that fits better is going to be something that may more likely rip. So. With latex, no stitching? Yeah, that's correct. You cannot stitch latex because it weakens it. The holes weaken it, so it's more likely to rip that way. So instead you glue it, cut it, glue it, and then the reinforcement is like every edge that's not glued to a seam already needs some sort of reinforcement so that as you're stretching it, as you're putting it on, it's got this other layer there that's going to help keep it from ripping. So that's what we're doing. This is the part that takes forever when I'm making something. And honestly, like, making a cat suit in this regard is easier because if you think about it, the only edges that are open in a cat suit are the ends of the sleeves and the ends of the ends of the ankles, right? So it's just these little parts. Versus a tank top, it's like all of the neckline, all of the arm lines, and so yeah, I guess like everything has its drawbacks, pros and cons. Seam roll it, glue it, seam roll it, cut off the edge there. We're going to do this neckline. Add a dab of glue on this part. Yeah, we'll probably have to finish this next week. But we'll at least get this last reinforcement done. Because we still have the back neckline to do. Hey, your boy Vendetta! The latex power! Thanks for the biddies! Have some latex. Latex! Not much going on, just making a St. Patrick's Day tank top in latex, essentially. Well, wearing a latex tank top. So thanks for the biddies, your boy Vendetta. Your bid alert is amazing. Thanks. Yeah, I updated a bunch of my alerts lately. I tend to do that every now and then, but yeah, making a tank top basically. So I was talking about this tank top is one that I made. This is my first ever latex garment that I ever made, and it's just like the front and the back, and you glue them together, and that's it. And so it's very simple, but because of that, it's very flattening on the boobs, and so I actually had a hard time getting into it today because of that. And so some of my newer dresses have what's called princess seams, where it actually makes room for your boobs. And so earlier in the night we modified my dress pattern to make this tank top out of that. So I'm incredible, so talented. Oh, thank you. Just doing the latex thing, you know. It's all about the tightness, right? Well, it's all about the tightness, but it's also about the shiny. You know what I mean? I like the shiny. But no, that's if you were to ask why I like latex, it's because, you know, it's tight and shiny. So there you go. Tuco, I attempted to do some crafting once. Used a hot glue gun for the first time when I was a kid. Got glue in my fingers. Thought I'd permanently fuse them together. Freaked out. Started running around the house crying, flailing my right hand. My dad was so mad. Never again. Aw. That's a long time ago, Tuco. You should try it again. Because we do a lot of things as kids and you know, get pushed down a different path or something. But I don't know if you're interested. I always try to encourage everybody to try it. Yeah, really follow your passions. That's what it comes out to. Your boy Vendetta, never seen you actually do it, so this is actually interesting. Oh yeah. Yeah, I know. I was doing latex streams late last year, and then this year I just have not been motivated to do any of it. It's been frustrating with no Comic-Cons. It's just like, I don't want to make a costume I can't wear. So, I don't know. Recently I've just been like, well, I could always use more latex dresses or like tops or that kind of thing. And so that's where I was like, well, maybe I'll just start making like a latex dress or a top or something here and there instead for now. Eventually I'll get back into costumes, but so yeah, we basically we modified the pattern. We cut out the front, the back, the boob cups, we glued them all together. And then before we like take this 2D object and turn it into a 3D object that you can put on, I like to do the reinforcement step, which is what we're doing. So it's basically taking long strips like this and putting them around like the neckline, the arm line, anywhere there's like something that's not connected to another seam. And the basic idea there is that it thickens those areas so that when you're putting it on, it's going to be less likely to rip. So COVID has ruined things like that. I miss cosplaying. Yeah, exactly. Did you have big cosplay plans in 2020 as well, you boy? God knows I did. I still made about 4 or 5 costumes, and I did it like a couple photo shoots in 2020. But it's all like socially distant and like, you know, it wasn't any big thing. Didn't get to go to Comic-Con. Maybe I'll get back out to do some more photo shoots. You know, when the weather is better. That's what it comes down to, because my photographer friends don't want to meet up for an indoor shoot anywhere right now, and none of us want to meet up for an outdoor shoot. It's too cold in Seattle, especially in latex. Well, and some of my outfits are not even latex, but a tutu, like a ballet tutu, and I can't drive with that. And how am I going to put it on? Like, I can't wear a bra with it. So it's like we go to a park and I'm not wearing the tutu. How am I going to put it on? So, yeah, anyways. So that one would be ideal for like a studio or something, where there's a changing room. Yeah, because I made two ballet tutus last year. First time ever. Something not latex, but it's fun. And one more neckline to do. Skipped 18 and 19 because I was busy moving, settling in with my partner, but we always talked on doing a group cosplay. So I literally commissioned my costume start of 2020. Got it in February, then bam, COVID. Oh, seriously. Oh, you met your fiance? Oh, dude. Tuco, I haven't been long on Twitch. Didn't realize that you have your socials and also your website linked as well, and your avatar is Psylocke. Yep, Psylocke. It was the purple hair, you know. I like my purple hair, and Psylocke's all about the purple hair. So, I also did Raven from Teen Titans. I haven't done her in latex, but I'm realizing that it's really just the black suit in latex, and I do have a black suit in latex from another costume that I could just borrow for that costume if I wanted to. But yeah, Vendetta, the same thing with me on 2020. Like, I had just finished my new Psylocke, hadn't shot it yet, and then COVID happened. Jerry Kandra literally is Psylocke. Yeah, the purple hair, man. Like, all the other times I've done Psylocke, because I've had several Psylocke costumes before this, I've had to wear a purple wig, right? And so finally, I was just like, you know, I'm just gonna dye my hair purple. Screw this. Oh, but yeah, but my latest Psylocke costume, that's what happened right before COVID. I'm sure we'll eventually see it fruition. Yeah, I hope so. I really hope so. So we have a Comic-Con in December that's scheduled. Emerald City Comic-Con? And it's usually in March, but last year it got canceled, obviously, and then this year they were like, well, let's try December, so here's hoping. Vincent Valentine. Yeah, post photos in the Discord, definitely. I wants to see. I did start on a new Supergirl cat suit at the end of last year. Someday I will get back to it. Let's measure that. Haven't noticed actually if there's a cosplay section in the .com Discord. Yeah, I'm not sure if there is either, but I'm sure we could have them make one for us. There's at least a photos place, probably. Okay, last glue job of the night. Let's do this. Just get this final edging done. Some of us are into cosplay and are actual cosplayers. Yes. Or we were. Freaking COVID. I don't feel like a cosplayer anymore. It's weird. Like, I want to, like, every video game I play has a new cosplay I want to cosplay, but it's like that whole argument of if the tree falls in the woods and nobody hears it, is it still a tree? Like, if a cosplayer doesn't make costumes, or they sell costumes. If a cosplayer stops making costumes, stops going to Comic-Cons. Alright, so just get this reinforcement glued, and then we have to wait about 5 minutes. I've done Vincent Valentine, Corito from Sword Art Online, Acolyte Lee Sin from League of Legends, and the cosplay I was meant to do, but COVID was Pajama Guardian Ezreal, League of Legends. Oh, cool. Also did Elle from Death Note, but that was literally a last minute thing and ended up being my first ever con. That's awesome. All lots of good stuff. There's some League of Legends ones. There's some video game ones where even if I don't play the video game or I never play the video game, that I like want to cosplay just because the costume looks cool. I don't even know anything about the character. From League of Legends, Bunny Riven was one of the ones that I wanted to do with the huge sword. But yeah, like I said, with playing video games, I've just been wanting to make more and more costumes. Did I set my timer? Oops. Love your cami, by the way. Aw, thanks. Latex cami. I was just joking about how latex makes me feel like it like puts a unique spin on cosplay. Like, oh, you've done Supergirl, but have you seen Latex Supergirl? So, latex cami. The sad thing about latex cami is that the catsuit ripped at SacroCon. I was in line to give blood, and I stood up or something, and like my butthole ripped open. Like the butt cheek really ripped open. And I immediately sat down, and I was like, turned to my friends, and I was like, can you get my stuff from the car, please? And so they had to go get my change of clothes from the car, and so Cammy was done for. Yeah, I've had a couple of latex failures like that. Some they're my fault, and well, I guess they're all my fault. If I made the costume, it's all my fault. But yeah, it's funny now. Then I was just like, oh god. The cami one was not the first one, right? So I was fairly used to it, and that's why I always carried like an extra pair of clothes. So yeah, I just like sat down. I was like, well, wait for them to get some clothes from me. My worst one and my first one was my latex Ariel, and I made a latex bra with underwire and everything. I never made a bra before, never messed with underwire, and so I was like convinced that the bra was going to break, right? And so I brought an extra like purple top that wasn't latex, and an extra green skirt. So it was a latex purple bra, and then a latex pencil skirt that was green. And during a photo shoot outside of the con, at least it wasn't like in the middle of con, but still like outside the con, right after the photo shoot, I think I was adjusting my skirt, and it just like ripped down the middle. The pencil skirt. And that was my fault for not reinforcing. This is what we're doing right here, reinforcing. So not reinforcing that middle part there, because I had to like do this like swoopy thing in the middle, and I didn't reinforce that middle part, and so it was just more likely to rip right there. all I was doing was just adjusting the skirt. So yeah, it ripped right down the middle. And again, thankfully I had extra clothes, but I was just like, I like grabbed it around me and I was like, could you pass me my bag to the photographer? Oh gosh, that was the first time. But yeah, it's actually kind of a joke between latex designers or anyone that wears latex to a party or something like that, because you're wearing like a catsuit or maybe a dress and it's really tight. Like anytime during the party it could like rip, and when this rips it's like an extreme stretch, right? So it's kind of a joke that it's gonna explode off of you and you're just gonna be naked. You know, it's just like so that kind of happened with that skirt that time. Cami wasn't as bad. My first latex Psylocke catsuit, near the end of the day at the con, it was like in the armpit or something, and it ripped all the way over and down my back or up my back or something, and so just like ripped right there. But that's not nearly as bad as like the crotch or the butt ripping. But thankfully I was able to salvage Cami. It was too big of a rip to like try to repair, but the legs of the catsuit were this like camo transparent latex, and so I just cut them off, and so it's just a leotard now. And so I just have to, if I ever want to wear her again, I just have to make some tights. I just have to like paint some tights with some green camo on it, and I won't do the tights as latex. It'll just be a leotard from here on out. So. Especially with Cami not having a cape. Yeah, exactly. It's just bare butt right there. Tender. Be easy to hide with a cape, exactly. Tender easy. Oh yeah, I could talk lots about latex costume fails. And I've learned my lesson in some ways. Such that, you know, people laugh at me that I tend to wear, sometimes I'll wear 2 costumes in a day at a Comic-Con. And the logic there is that if it's a latex costume, you really can't wear it more than half a day. Because the longer it's on you, the more the lubricant's wearing out and your sweat's mixing with it and drying it up. And it just doesn't move with your body anymore, and then and as there's more friction and as you move around, that's when it's going to more likely be to rip. And especially with the catsuits where it fully encases you. So that's one of the things, one of my takeaways has been to only wear latex stuff half a day and then go to a hotel, change out, take a rest, and then change into another one. So. So yeah, so San Diego Comic-Con in 2019. It's my first time going to that one. It's the big one. I wore 8 costumes, I think. So there's several days of changing. I think one day was like dark Supergirl, and then I switched to regular Supergirl. That kind of thing. Yeah, I also oscillate between like making cat suits and making leotards. Leotards are less likely to rip because the worst parts in a catsuit are the armpits, because that's where the sleeves and the leotard meet, and then of course the crotch. So if you think about it, the crotch is like, you know, the leotard meets in your crotch, and then the whole like leg holes for the legs if you have a cat suit meet, and all the seams meet there right in there in the crotch. And I've gotten to the point where I add I bolt in things that help keep it in there and stuff. But it's just there's the most amount of pressure right there in that crotch area. And then same thing with the armpit. It's just like, and then as you're moving it, walking and stuff, and it's rubbing, and it's just more likely to rip and stuff. So if you have a leotard, by comparison, it doesn't have those legs connected to it, and so it's just more like underwear, and so it's much more free when you're walking and stuff. Same with like sleeveless versus sleeves. The armpits aren't as strained. So my first couple latex cat suits have been, I've been trying to take advantage of the transparency of the transparent latex, to make it look like you have a leotard, but you don't, like Psylocke having rings and stuff like that. But like I said, the downside is it's more likely to rip. So my latest cosplay, my latest Psylocke, it's an actual leotard with gloves and stockings instead. So, Vendetta, I got a shower, get dinner ready, gang. Keen to see the end result of this later. All right, Vendetta, thanks for coming by. Thanks for the biddies. Good talking to you. Tuco, what is your favorite cosplay? Why do I always ask that? It's usually like my latest, Usually just like, this is my newest, so it's therefore the best because it's my most improved, But other than that, generic answer. Yeah, it always changes, but you could probably glean that I like Supergirl because I've made so many versions of her. And she was my second cosplay, and I think that was like a store-bought costume. It was Supergirl. And then I've only ever since just wanted to keep improving on the look of it. But yeah, there's just, when I first started, I was like, Black Widow was my first cosplay. And I was like, this is so fun, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand why all these cosplayers want to keep making more costumes, like, blah, blah, blah. And then, like, after a while, I just started making new costumes and other characters, and I'm just like, hey, I guess I get it, because here I am, making all the things. I need to actually do some good trimming on some of this wrinkles. That was for a moment. Alright, well, this is what we got tonight. As you can see, it is... Yeah, so it's basically a front and back of a tank top. So final things to do now that those are reinforced. Really, I should reinforce the bottom as well, which is just one long strip, so that'll take some time. But after that, it's doing the fold over, gluing this seam, gluing the shoulders together, doing some final kind of reinforcement here and there, and then kind of a tank top. It might be kind of croppy looking. Might have made it a little on the short side, but that's okay. I'm okay with crop tops. That's where we're at for the night, I think. That's where I'm going to call it. Can't wait to see the final product. Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm going to try doing this on Wednesday nights again. Just some simple stuff like this. Making some dresses, making some tank tops. I like the idea of having all of these dresses that I could wear. So I was like, well, let's just start making it. So thank you for taking the time to answer my questions. Greatly appreciate it. Yeah, of course. Anytime, Tuco, really. Like I said, I just like hanging out. Oh, my back's killing. Alright, so I think that's where I'm going to leave it tonight. Thank you all for coming by. I will be around tomorrow morning. Tomorrow morning's the morning update. Just a chatting stream. So, yeah, tomorrow is just a chatting stream in the morning, and then Friday the regular gaming stream at night. So, have a good one, y'all.
Where did you come from? Where did you come from?